Hi students, welcome back to online classes. So see that one, what is the next question? So find the relation between A and B so that the function f defined by f of x is equal to ax plus 1 if x less than or equal to 3 and bx plus 3 if x greater than 3 is a continuous at x is equal to 3. What is the condition they are asking? The given f is a continuous function at x is equal to 3, then what is the relation between a and b? First you have to understand that students, given what is that f of, first I will calculate that f of 3 is equal to, what is the f of 3 students? F of 3 is equal to, so what is the f of 3 value? F of 3 value is nothing but 3a plus 1, 3a plus 1. First, we have to understand that the function is defined at x is equal to 3. So f of 3 is equal to 3a plus 1. Next, I will calculate that limit extending to 3 minus f of x. So limit extending to 3 minus f of x is equal to limit extending to 3 minus f of x value. What is the f of x value for x less than or equal to 3? It will become that ax plus 1. So automatically what happens students, it will become that 3a plus 1, and also limit extending to 3 plus f of x is equal to, limit extending to 3 plus f of x is equal to, what happens? Limit extending to 3 plus f of x value for x greater than 3, f of x value will become bx plus 3. So it will become that bx plus 3. Apply the limit, what happens? It will become that 3b plus 3. So if f of x is a continuous function, if f of x is a continuous, f is a continuous function at x is equal to 3, then what happens students? From the definition already you know that limit extending to 3 minus f of x is equal to limit extending to 3 plus f of x is equal to f of 3. So that meaning is, what is the left hand limit? The left hand limit is nothing but 3a plus 1. So this value, it will become that 3a plus 1 is equal to, what is the right hand limit students? Right hand limit is nothing but 3b plus 3. And also what is the f of 3? F of 3 is nothing but a 3a plus 1. So by equating these three, what you will get students? That is nothing but 3a plus 1 is equal to 3b plus 3. So that meaning is, that implies 3a value, 3a is equal to 2 plus 3b, 2 plus 3b. So that meaning is, if we can take this 1 to this side, 3 minus 1, it will become the 2. So 2 plus 3b. And you can divide with 3 here. A is equal to 2 plus 3b by 3. So automatically that implies a value, it will become 2 by 3 plus b. So therefore the required relation between A and B, between A and B is given by what is the relation students? A is equal to 2 by 3 plus b. Understand, students? So see that question and practice that question. See the next question, question number 19. Show that the function defined by g of x is equal to x minus step x is discontinuous at all integral points. All integral points. Here, step x denotes the greatest integer. Step x denotes the greatest integer less than or equal to x. Less than or equal to x. So they are asking that show that the function is discontinuous at all integral points. So how can you calculate that one, students? See that question. So given function, what is the given function is here? So given f of x is equal to given f of x or the f of x, they are given the mentioned that g of x actually. So you can take a given g of x is equal to what is the g of x function? X minus step x. X minus step x. Clearly g of x is defined. Clearly g of x is defined for all integral points. For all integral points. For all integral points. So that's why what I will take that one. Let n be any integer. Let n be any integer. So what is the step x, students? Already we know that what is the step x function is. What is the step x function is? If x value n less than or equal to x less than n plus 1. If x value lies in between two integers, then step x value it will become the greatest integer. That meaning is it will become the n only. So if it lies between n and n minus 1, or understand that. So here what you will get that if n be any integer, let n be any integer, what happens? So first you have to calculate that what is the f of n is equal to, what is the f of n, students? So if n is any integer, then automatically n minus step of n. So that implies n minus step n is nothing but n is an integer, automatically it will become that 0 only. Next I will calculate that the left hand limit extending to n minus f of x, limit extending to n minus f of x. What happens, students? It is not a n actually, so it is a f. So you can take that g of n actually. So it is also g of x. So that implies the limit extending to n minus g of x value. G of x is nothing but the x minus step x. So what happens, students? So that meaning is n value you can replace the n minus. So x value is less than n. X value is less than n, meaning is nothing but the step x value, it will become n minus 1. Why? Because x value is less than n. Less than n meaning is nothing but x lies in between n minus 1 and n. So in that case, x value, step x value will become n minus 1. Or understand that? So that's why it will become that n minus of minus plus 1. It will become 0. So n will be cancelled. It will become that not the 0 is that, it is the 1 actually. So you can take this value is 1. So similarly, we can take that limit extending to n plus f of x, limit extending to n plus g of x. So in this case, what happens, students? Limit extending to n plus what is the g of x? G of x is same, x minus step x. So in this case, apply the limit n minus, if you can apply the limit, what happens? It will become that step n, x value is more than n. More than n meaning is x value lies in between n and n plus 1. So in that case, step x value, it will become that n. So it will become that 0. So what I am observed that left hand limit and the right hand limit are not coincide. So what we can take that, therefore limit extending to n minus f of x is not equal to, it is not a f of x actually, every time you are getting that. So this is the g of x is not equal to limit extending to n plus g of x. So therefore, what we can conclude that students, limit extending to n minus g of x, that is the left hand limit, is not equal to right hand limit. Therefore, g of x is not continuous at x is equal to n. So I am taken n be any integer, but what we have proved that g of x is not a continuous at x is equal to n. Therefore, what we can conclude that g of x is discontinuous. G of x is discontinuous for all integral points, for all integral points, for all integers. X minus step x is discontinuous for all integers. Okay, so see that question students and practice that question. So here you have to understand that if x value is extending to x less than n, so in that case, step x value is n minus 1. If extending to n plus, then step x value will become n only. So in that case, we can get that left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. Therefore, g of x is not continuous at x is equal to n. Therefore, g of x is discontinuous for all integral points. So see that question students. See the next question, question number 20. So is the function f of x is equal to x square minus sin x plus 5 is a continuous at x is equal to 5. So how to prove this question students? So see that one. So the what is the function is given first? Given. What is the function is that one? Given f of x is equal to f of x is equal to x square minus sin x plus 5. Clearly f of x is defined. Clearly f of x is defined at x is equal to pi. If you can replace this x value, this function is defined. Then what we will calculate that. So f of pi is equal to, what is the f of pi students? F of pi is equal to pi square minus sin pi plus 5. So that meaning is pi square minus sin 180. Sin 180 is 0 plus 5. So it will become that pi square plus 5. Pi square plus 5. So next we have to prove that this value is a limit exists and it is equal to the f of pi. So for that one, so I will use that, put x is equal to pi plus h. Put x is equal to pi plus h. If extending to pi, then h value tends to 0. Why? Because I am taken that x is equal to pi plus h. If x and pi both are equal, then automatically h value will become 0 only. So that meaning is if extending to pi, then automatically h value tends to 0. So then what we will calculate that limit extending to pi, f of x is equal to limit extending to pi, f of x is equal to what happens, students? Limit extending to pi, limit extending to pi, f of x. What is the f of x, students? X square minus sine x, x square minus sine x, x square minus sine x plus 5. So then what happens? Limit extending to this value, I will change in terms of h. That meaning is limit h tends to 0. So x value will become pi plus h whole square, pi plus h whole square minus sine of pi plus h plus 5. So that implies what happens here. So if you can apply that, limit h tends to 0, limit h tends to 0, pi plus h whole square minus limit h tends to 0, sine of pi plus h. That meaning is sine of a plus b. What is the formula, students? Sine a cos b, sine a cos b plus cos a sin b plus cos a sin b. So plus limit h tends to 0, limit h tends to 0, 5. So what happens, students? If we can apply the limit, it will become that pi plus h value is 0. So it will become that pi plus 0 whole square minus, apply the limit here, it will become that sin pi into cos 0 plus cos pi into sin 0 plus sin pi. That is the limit. If you can apply the limit, it will become the 5 remains the same. So what happens, students? It will become that pi square minus what happens here? It will become that sin 180 is a 0 into cos 0 is a 1 plus cos 180 is a minus 1 into sin 0 is 0 plus pi. So that implies it will become that pi square minus this value is 0 plus pi. So pi square minus 0 plus 5. That implies pi square plus 5. So what is the f of pi? F of pi is nothing but pi square plus 5, and the limit extending to pi, f of x value is also pi square plus 5. So what we can conclude that therefore limit extending to pi, f of x value is equal to f of pi. So therefore f of x is a continuous, f of x is a continuous at x is equal to pi, continuous at x is equal to pi. So see that question, students. So first you have to take that x is equal to pi plus h. If x value tends to pi, automatically h value tends to 0. If sin x and cos x is involved in the given function, then you have to use like this one, x is equal to pi plus h. Then x value tends to pi, automatically h value tends to 0. Then apply that one, then apply the limit extending to pi, f of x is equal to f of pi. Therefore f of x is a continuous at x is equal to pi. Okay, students. So see that question and practice that question. See the next question, question number 21. Discuss the continuity of the following functions. F of x is equal to sin x plus cos x, and f of x is equal to sin x minus cos x, and f of x is equal to sin x into cos x. So already I have proved one theorem. What is that one is? We know that so G and H are two continuous functions or two continuous functions then what happens? F plus G or a G plus H, you are taking the G and H, so automatically G plus H comma G minus H and G into H are continuous functions or continuous functions. So for this one, I will take that first. Let g of x is equal to g of x is equal to sin x. Let g of x is equal to sin x. First, I will prove that this is the continuous function. So how to prove this one is clearly g of x is defined. G of x is defined for all real numbers. For all real numbers. For all real numbers. Let C be any real number. 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 Then f of c is equal to f of c. It will become sin c. F of c is equal to sin c. If f of c is equal to sin c, next I will take that. Put x is equal to c plus h. Put x is equal to c plus h. If x tending to c, that implies h value tends to 0. If x value tends to c, automatically h value tends to 0. So I will take that limit h tends to 0, limit h, that is the x tending to c, f of x is equal to limit x tending to c, f of x is equal to limit x tending to c, limit x tending to c, f of x, limit x tending to c, f of x. This can be, you can written as limit x tending to c, f of x. What is the f of x, students? F of x is equal to sin x. So I will change that limit this x tending to c, I will change it as h tends to 0, and this sin x, it will become sin of x plus, that is the c plus h. It will become c plus h. So that is equal to, what is the formula you have? Limit h tends to 0, limit h tends to 0. So sin of a plus b formula, what is the sin of a plus b formula? Sin a cos b plus cos a sin b, cos a sin b. So then apply the limits, what happens? The limit, if you can apply the limit, what happens? So that is nothing but the sin c into cos 0 plus cos c into sin 0. So that is nothing but sin c into cos 0. Cos 0 is a 1 plus cos c into sin 0 is 0. So what happens, students? So that is nothing but sin c plus cos c into 0 is 0. So automatically it will become sin c. So what is the f of c? F of c is the sin c, and the limit extending to c, f of x value is also sin c. Therefore, what we can declare that? Therefore, limit extending to c, limit extending to c, f of It is not a f actually. So what we are taking that actually this is the g actually. So what we are taking that this is the g of c. So this is also g actually. So this is the g of x. Okay. So that is here also you will get the g. So that is g of x. It will become g of c. So what we declare that therefore g of x is a continuous. G of x is a continuous. G of x is continuous. Why? Because c is any real number continuous at x is equal to c. At x is equal to c. X is equal to c meaning is therefore g of x is a continuous function. Is a continuous function. Is a continuous function. So I am taking that g of x is the sin x, and we have proved that this is the continuous function. So similarly, what we will take that h of x. What is that? Next, I will take that h of x is equal to cos x. So then we will prove that that is also continuous function. So that's why what I will take that one. Let h of x is equal to h of x is equal to cos x. Let h of x is equal to cos x. So clearly cos x, that is the h of x, that is the h of x. Clearly h of x is defined. H of x is defined for all real numbers. For all real numbers. So for that one, what I will take that, let c be any real number. 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 Then f of, that is the h of c is equal to, then h of c is equal to what happens? H of c is equal to cos c. And next I will take that, put x is equal to c plus h. Put x is equal to c plus h. So then what happens here? If extending to c, then automatically what happens? H value tends to 0. Meaning is if x is equal to h, automatically h value will become 0. So if extending to c, that implies h value tends to 0. So then I will calculate that limit extending to c, h of x is equal to, so that is equal to limit extending to c, h of x. H of x is nothing but the cos x only. So that implies limit x, in the place of x I will replace that c plus h. Automatically if extending to c, automatically what happens students? It will become h tends to 0. It will become that cos of c plus h. So that is equal to limit h tends to 0. What is the formula of cos of a minus b? Cos of a minus b is nothing but cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Then apply the limits. What happens, students? So that is nothing but in the place of h replace the 0. Then it will become that cos c cos 0 minus sin c sin 0. So here cos c into cos 0 is 1 minus sin c into sin 0 is 0. So automatically what happens here? This will become cos c. minus this value will become 0. So automatically this value will become cos C only. So already limit h extending to C, h of x value is a cos C. Already h of C value is a cos C. From these two, what we can conclude that therefore limit h tends to C, limit h tends to C, h of x value, it will become cos, that is nothing but h of C. So what we can conclude that students, therefore h of x is a continuous, h of x is a continuous, h of x is a continuous at x is equal to C. Therefore h of x is a continuous function. H of x is a continuous function. So we are proved that sin x is a continuous function and here cos x is a continuous function. So from already you know that g and h are continuous, then g plus h is a continuous and g minus h is a continuous, and g and h, g into h are continuous functions. So therefore from the first problem, what is the first problem is therefore 1. So f of x is equal to, what is the first problem students? F of x is equal to g of x plus h of x. So what is the f of x? First problem is nothing but f of x is equal to sin x plus cos x. That meaning is g of x plus h of x. So that is f of, therefore that implies first question, f of x is equal to g of x plus h of x. That meaning is nothing but sin x plus cos x is a continuous function, is a continuous function, is a continuous function. So similarly, second question, what is the second question students? F of x is equal to g of x minus h of x. What is the second question? That is nothing but sin x minus cos x. Sin x minus cos x. That meaning is g and h are continuous. Automatically g minus h is also continuous. So sin x minus cos x is a continuous function. Is a continuous function. Is a continuous function. Next, third one. See, the third one is f of x is equal to g of x into h of x. So that is nothing but sin x into cos x is a continuous function. Is a continuous function. Is a continuous function. So g and h are continuous functions. Automatically g plus h is a continuous function. Gx minus, that is a g minus h is a continuous function, and g into h is also a continuous functions. Are you understand that students? So first what we have to prove that one? First you have to take a g of x is equal to sin x. Then we have to prove that g of x is a continuous function. Next you have to take that h of x is equal to cos x, and we have to prove that h of x is a continuous function. Automatically g and h are continuous. Then what happens? G plus h is a continuous, g minus h is a continuous, g into h is also continuous. Okay, so see that question students and practice that question. See the next question, question number 22. So what is that one? Is that discuss the continuity of the cosine, cosecant, secant and cotangent functions. The cos, and cosecant and secant and the cotangent functions or continuous functions. So what is the conditions are? So see that one, students. So if g of x is equal to, what is the conditions? Already we are proved in the previous question. That is the proofs, you have to return that. What I will take that one first. Let g of x is equal to sin x. Let g of x is equal to sin x. So clearly g of x is a continuous function, is a continuous function, continuous function, continuous function. So in the examination you have to return the proof from question number 21. Question number 21, we have to return the proof. G of x is equal to sin x, and we have to prove that g of x is a continuous function. And also let h of x, and let h of x is equal to cos x. This is also, we are already proved that clearly h of x is a continuous function. H of x is a continuous function. H of x is a continuous function. From question number 21, we have to write the proof of this one also. So first I am taking that g of x is equal to sin x and h of x is equal to cos x, or these two are continuous functions. So first we have to see that one first question. Already first question is over. Cosine is nothing but the cos x. Cos x is a continuous function. Next one is a cosecant. What is the cosecant x? Cosecant x. First we have to write down the condition here. So if h of x, if g of x, we know that if g of x is a continuous function, g of x is a continuous function, then 1 by g of x, comma, g of x not equal to 0 is a continuous function, is a continuous function. So already we know that g of x is a continuous function. Automatically 1 by g of x, comma, g of x not equal to 0 is a continuous function. Therefore cosecant x is equal to, what is the meaning of the cosecant x? Cosecant x is nothing but 1 by sin x, 1 by sin x, comma, sin x not equal to 0 is a continuous function, is a continuous function, is a continuous function. Why? Because g of x is a continuous, automatically 1 by g of x. 1 by g of x meaning is 1 by sin x is nothing but the cosecant x, is a continuous function when sin x is not equal to 0. That meaning is, that implies, what is that one? That implies we can return that cosecant x, comma, x not equal to n pi, sin x not equal to 0, sin x value is 0, if it is a multiple of pi, that meaning is sin 0, sin 180, sin 360, all these values are 0, sin n pi is a 0. So automatically sin n pi is not equal to 0, that value is not equal to 0, then x value not equal to n pi. So cosecant x, comma, x not equal to n pi is a continuous function, is a continuous function. So similarly we can take that So this is the one condition, and also we can take this is the one condition. Actually we have to prove that one also. So this is the condition we are proved. So next one they are asking that secant. What is the secant is? Next we will take that. So next condition, what we will take that? Next condition we will take that. We know that if h of x, if h of x is a continuous function, 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 then same condition, what is that? 1 by h of x, comma, h of x not equal to 0, h of x not equal to 0 is a continuous function, is a continuous function, is a continuous function. That meaning is, therefore what happens students? Secant x, secant x, what is the meaning of the secant x? Secant x is nothing but 1 by cos x, 1 by cos x, comma, cos x not equal to 0, not equal to 0 is a continuous function. Why? Because 1 by cos x is a continuous function, automatically 1 by cos x is a continuous function when cos x is not equal to 0. So it is a continuous function, continuous function. So secant x, that implies what we can conclude, that implies secant x, comma, cos x not equal to 0. What is the cos x not equal to 0? When the cos x is 0, it is odd multiples of pi by 2. If it is odd multiples of pi by 2, pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, 7 pi by 2, all these are values, cos x value will become 0. So here cos x value is not equal to 0. Not equal to 0 meaning is nothing but x is not equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. X value not become odd multiples of pi by 2. If it is odd multiples of pi by 2, automatically cos x value will become 0. So that's in that case secant x, comma, x not equal to n pi by 2 is a continuous function. Is a continuous function. So this is the third one, is that this is the next one, that is nothing but that is the secant x. So they're asking the secant. Next, what is the next question they are asking to you? See that one, cotangent. Cotangent is nothing but the cot. So cot is also continuous function. So what is the condition you have? So see that condition, students. So what is the condition? We can take that. So next condition we will take, the condition is that. So next condition, what we will take that? We know that one condition, we know that important theorem we are already proved that. We know that if h of x, comma, g of x are continuous functions, or continuous functions, then what happens? H of x by g of x, comma, g of x not equal to 0, g of x not equal to 0 is a continuous function, is a continuous function. So h of x and g of x are continuous functions, then h of x by g of x, comma, g of x not equal to 0 is a continuous function. So that is nothing but, therefore what we will take, that cot x is equal to, what is the cot x, students? Therefore cot x is equal to cot x. Cot x can be written as cos x by sin x. So here cos x and sin x are continuous functions, and h of x by g of x is also continuous when sin x is not equal to 0. Sin x not equal to 0 is a continuous function, is a continuous function, is a continuous function. That implies what happens? That implies cot x comma sin x not equal to 0. Sin x not equal to 0, I am already told that one. Cot x comma x not equal to n pi, x not equal to n pi is a continuous function, is a continuous function, is a continuous function. So cot x comma x not equal to n pi is a continuous function. So that is the last condition. And also some note point, that is tan x also we will prove that. Why? Because we are already proved that sine, cos, secant, cosecant and cot x. Next I will prove that cot x, tan x also. Okay, so see that note point, we will prove that one more condition here. So I will take that here. That is one more condition I will going to prove that. So that is nothing but, so I will take that. Next one is, so already this is the same condition, we will prove that. So if h of x, if g of x, if g of x comma h of x are continuous functions, or continuous functions, or continuous functions, then what happens, students? Then g of x by h of x comma h of x not equal to 0 is a continuous, is a continuous function, is a continuous function when if g of x is equal to h of x, if g of x is equal to h of x are continuous functions, then g of x by h of x comma h of x not equal to 0 is a continuous function. So then what happens here? G of x is nothing but the sin x and h of x is the cot x. Therefore what is the tan x? Is actually tan x is equal to, so tan x is equal to sin x by cos x, sin x by cos x comma cos x not equal to 0, cos x not equal to 0 is a continuous function, is a continuous function. Why? Because sin x is a continuous function, cos x is a continuous function. Sin x by cos x comma cos x not equal to 0 is also a continuous function. Therefore what we can conclude, that implies tan x comma cos x not equal to 0, cos x is not equal to 0, meaning is nothing but x not equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, 2n plus 1 into pi by 2 is a continuous function, is a continuous function, is a continuous function. See that question, students? So this is the important one here. All the trigonometric functions we are going to see that it is a continuous functions. So first, what is that? G of x. G of x is equal to sin x. So clearly G of x is a continuous function. We are proved in the previous question. We have to write the proof here. Next one is let h of x is equal to cos x. Let h of x is equal to cos x. Clearly h of x is a continuous function from the previous question. We have to prove the proof for these two first. Then start that one first. If g of x is a continuous, automatically 1 by g of x is a continuous and g of x not equal to 0. Okay. So here sin x is a continuous, automatically 1 by sin x. 1 by sin x is nothing but the cosecant x comma sin x not equal to 0 is a continuous. Sin x, when it will become 0, if x is equal to n pi, then it will become 0. So that's why x not equal to n pi. Therefore cosecant x, therefore cosecant, so cosecant x, cosecant x comma x not equal to n pi is a continuous function. Similarly, what is that? H of x. What is the h, students? H is nothing but the cos. So cos x is the continuous function. Automatically 1 by cos x comma cos x not equal to 0 is also continuous. 1 by cos x meaning is the secant x. Automatically secant x comma cos x not equal to 0 meaning is nothing but x not equal to n pi, x not equal to n pi. So in that case it is a continuous function. Next, cotangent, that is nothing but the cot. So hx comma gx are continuous functions. Automatically hx by g of x comma g of x not equal to 0 is a continuous functions, and g of x not equal to 0. That meaning is cos x and sin x are continuous functions. Cos x by sin x comma sin x not equal to 0 is a continuous function. Automatically cos x by sin x is nothing but the cot x is a continuous function when x not equal to n pi. And g of x, what is the g of x? G of x is nothing but the sin, h of x is nothing but the cos. These two are continuous functions. Automatically g of x by h of x meaning is nothing but sin x by cos x comma cos x not equal to 0 is also continuous functions. So sin by cos is nothing but the tan. So it is an example problem actually. So they are asking that we have to prove that tan is also continuous function. So it is example problem we are proved here. So tan x comma x not equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2 is a continuous function. Okay. So see that question, students, and practice these questions, and tomorrow we will continue the class. Okay.